Okay.
See.
We're going back to the contactor. All right. Everything makes contact with this. My fan motor and my compressor won't have power until it comes to this contactor. This contactor is controlled by my board here. My defrost board is controlled by my thermostat. So if I want heat or if I want cool, this guy will let everybody know what job they need to do. If somebody's not doing a job, I'm blaming it on this guy. All right? Thermostat wire is going right here. You follow me, Richard?
Can you say that one more time?
This is my defrost board. It's a control board. All right? It communicates with this unit and my thermostat to tell all the components what to do and when to do them.
Okay.
From here, I go to my contactor. My contactor is delivering my main power, which is coming from my whip here, to my fan and my compressor. It's being controlled from here. It's connected to my fan and my capacitor with this red wire. This red wire right here is my common wire. It's connected to the top of, what is this, Richard?
The compressor?
Contactor.
Contactor.
What's this called, Richard? What's it called?
I forgot.
Contactor.
Contactor.
One more time.
Contactor.
Everything makes contact. Think of it like that. Everything makes contact with my contactor.
Gotcha.
Say it one more time, Richard.
Contactor.
Everything makes.
Contact.
Okay. See how I'm keep pushing this button? So if this button is engaged like this, and I'm not getting power, I have to trace back to my power. So I'm going back to my breaker. It could be this is loose or tripped, or I can go inside and check if that's loose or tripped. If that's loose or tripped, then I have to figure out why. What's causing that to trip? If this is not engaged, and I go over here and engage, and everything turns on, my problem is my 24 volts, which go where, Richard?
To the compressor?
No,
The contactor.
no,
Thermostat.
your thermostat.
Nice.
Okay, so this is going here, which zigzags around with all these controls to my thermostat. So it could be as simple as actually just tightening one of these guys down. Okay, or I have to go get my thermostat wire and check my thermostat wire. Maybe that got hit by a weed whacker, or maybe a kid was running by and tripped over it and popped one of these wires out, or maybe just, you know, over time and corrosion, it just went bad. So I would check my thermostat, Richard, and I would make sure that my connections are nice and solid and they're not loose, because these guys are the one that engages this.
And you can press on that contactor.
Yeah, you can press on this contactor.
It's not live or.
No.
Oh, well,
So I personally, I would recommend a screwdriver
Okay, cool.
to engage this, okay, because that is 240 volts. So if you engage this and it turns on, that means the problem is your 24 volts, your low voltage, all right? If this is not engaged, it's your 24 volts, which come from your control board to your thermostat. So that's where you would go to troubleshoot that. You'd start from your thermostat, work your way back here, check all this out. If everything looks good, everything's connected, and everything's solid, and that's still not engaging, yeah, maybe you have a bad thermostat, maybe you have a bad defrost board, maybe you just have one bad wire somewhere in your air handler that you haven't checked yet. Richard, do you understand the function of this job, this guy?
Contactor.
What's his job?
Everything's connected. Contacted. together.
Okay, so I'm connected with my main power, which is how many volts, Richard?
Yes, sir, too.
240.
240.
240.
Okay, and I'm also with my low voltage, which is how many volts?
24.
Yes, sir. So once this guy's engaged, what's gonna happen? It's gonna send power from down here up here. So now my compressor, which are these two guys, have power, and my fan now has power. That's his job, is to connect everybody with power. He hooks everybody up with power. We like our contactor. We want to keep our contactor working, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So the capacitor only starts the fan, doesn't start the compressor?
Yes, it starts both.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Starts both. Sometimes you have two capacitors depending on the size of the unit.
Okay.
There'll be one just for the fan. There'll be one just for the compressor. Sometimes there's three. Sometimes there's a start one just for the compressor and then a run one. It just depends on the unit itself.
Cool.
But most of the time, you're dealing with one. The fan would be like half the size. It would be like that big.
Okay.
And that would just go to the fan. But you always, don't forget this jumper right here, guys. This jumper's easy to forget. This guy that sends common.
Okay.
All right, Richard, what's this guy's job?
First it jumps the
Well, what's the name of it? Cap,
capital
Capacitor.
capacitor.
the capacitor, the other caterpillar. The capacity. All right, it's the capacitor. All right.
Yes, sir.
So if my fan's running but my compressor's not running, check your capacitor. If your compressor's running but your fan's not running, check your capacitor. If nothing's running, I would check this first and then check your capacitor. But the capacitor can go bad. Definitely after like lightning storms, you'll be replacing a lot of these. All right, a car accident that happens too close, you'll be replacing these. It's crazy.
You serious?
Yeah.
It's like some EMT or something?
Mm-hmm. So too much electricity that comes through this thing will absorb. That's what it does. It absorbs electricity. It's like a little battery.
Electrostatic.
All right.
So
Who are you?
the capacitor just jump start.
Yeah, yeah.
everything.
It's just a little. It's a little helper. It helps everything get started.
Okay.
Cooler.
All right.
Yep.
So all these other wires. Who can tell me what some of these go to?
Yellow
Is
is.
this smoke whistle?
The yellow.
Smoke whistle?
Mm-mm.
Good.
It's a transducer.
Transistor.
All right. For my high pressure. Remember, I was like, the yellow one goes to my transducer. This black one goes to my low pressure transducer,
Okay.
which regulates pressure. Okay? Everybody says transducers
Transistor.
regulate pressure.
Regular
So if I have low pressure
It's a black one.
or if I have too much of a high pressure, it's going to be these guys. So if it's not kicking on or if I have a problem, I can disconnect these, right? And see if that's what the problem is. Or you can get one of those little regulators which plug in somewhere in here. I've never used them before. I've only seen them on YouTube and stuff. I think they plug
looks
in
like
here.
it'd be down there.
Here, plug in here or here. People get alligator clips and they can jump them with the alligator clips right here with the 24s. I don't know, guys. There's so many different ways to retrofit this thing to make it work. I've seen guys disconnect stuff and just leave it disconnected and it works. But you'll learn all that stuff on the job. I'm not going to tell you to do that, and then that's a bad habit you carry with you. So I'm just trying to show you guys the basic stuff. Whatever you pick up out there, that's great too. Come back next year and tell us the tricks to the trade that you've learned. Okay. All right, we have two more wires. All right. Can anyone tell me where the red ones go to? Where do these red ones go to? It's right here in front of our face.
Looks like a thermostat, maybe, or no?
Those are for the contactor.
Thank you, sir, for our contactor.
Oh.
Okay, so we only have two more left, which is the only thing we haven't talked about in here.
Is it compressor?
No,
No, juicer.
no.
Evaporator?
No.
Yeah, expensive valve.
Yes, there it is. Nope, not the expansion valve, but you're getting close. It has a valve.
Reverse valve.
Reverse valve. There we go.
What color is that?
That goes to our reverse. It's black. I don't know which one. I would have to look in there to see which way they go, but
Yeah, I see the jumper.
I think this one's sort of the reversing valve. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. It says O right there too, so
Yep.
there you go. Reversing valve.
Okay.
And then see LO, that's low. That's our low transducer.
Transistor.
There's our defrost right there. That's probably through the coil sensor. And then we have high here.
Okay.
That goes to our high pressure
High pressure.
transducer. And then we have our common
Contact.
24 wires.
Yeah.
That's where everything goes.
To power.
All right, and then we got power going here to the top of the contactor. And then what goes here?
Okay.
What goes here, guys?
Okay.
Fan?
Thank you, sir. It says it right there, fam.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
That's the condensing.
Okay.
Richard, what's this called?
Contactor.
What's its job?
keeps everything
The
connected.
contact.
Hooked up and connected, right? Pretty simple, right? What's this guy's job?
It's a jump starts the contactor,
What's it called?
the capitator, capacitor.
Capitator. You're getting there. Just call it a cap.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
cap, man. Just call it cap. All right. What's this guy's job?
That's the like the. It tells everyone. Yeah, what's it?
It's a control board, right? It's in
Control
control of everything, right?
Yeah.
It's got all these different wires connected to it that tells everybody you're doing a good job or you're not doing a good job. And that's where these little things would plug in and turn on, okay? What plugs in here, Richard?
The thermostat.
Your thermostat wire, right?
Yes, sir.
What does this guy go to?
That's not the. Is
Re-
that the,
reversing valve.
Reversing valve.
What's the reversing valve do? Reverses the flow of refrigerant.
Oh, of the refrigerator.
Reverses the flow of refrigerant.
Reverse
Turns
flow
my
of
condenser into an evaporator.
refrigerant.
All right, for the winter time, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then I have two more wires here. This is our low pressure transducer. That lets me know if I have enough pressure. All right,
Yes, sir.
pressure. All right, transducers, pressures. Your pressure wire. Okay. This is your defrost right here. That goes to the coil sensor to let you know, okay, you've gotten too cold. You need a defrost. All right, because this thing gets super cold in the winter time when you have the reversing valve on. And then I have my two low voltage wires that go where?
Contactor.
On the side of my contactor. All right, now I have my high pressure transducer here, which goes onto my high side to make sure that I have a sufficient amount of pressure on my high side. That's it.
All right.
Can you explain it to me?
No, sir.
I want you to
Not
try.
yet.
There you go.
Right.
All right. Sit down here. Explain everything to everybody. And I want you guys to ask him questions. Go ahead. Sit down.
I don't know.
Start from the contactor and tell me where the wires go and what they do. Everybody, make sure you ask them one question each, okay?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the main power.